Hello everyone, my name is Christopher. In this video I would like to speak about current state of Overwatch as a whole, and if we're being specific, the Roadhog rework, how and why this was absolutely not enough to fundamentally change the character, what were Blizzard developers were doing, and future plans on Overwatch. I think you have to understand what's happening from a very fundamental, deep perspective, and people were so happy about Overwatch World Cup, and then there was a Sombra rework a little bit before that, and then you had a collaboration with Lesser Theme, which brought a lot of fans, but in reality, nothing interesting has changed. Fundamentally speaking, even though they nerfed supports a little bit, they are still incredibly overpowered as they were before. No matter what they would do to the new Roadhog, he is still gonna be exposed to the same problems he was exposed before the rework. So what exactly was the purpose of that? What exactly was the reason for that? I think when it comes to Roadhog as a whole, you need to understand what are the main problems of a character right now, and let me tell you, they are pretty simple. It's the 6 versus 6. Well, it's the lack of it in Overwatch 2. You have to understand that before, you had a main tank who would press W with the team, and then an off tank who would flank, take space, and be a threat to the enemy backline. If you are playing Roadhog in Overwatch 2, you quickly realize that if you would want to stay main, you're just gonna be an ultimate battery for the enemies. If you're trying to flank, your enemies is gonna get pressed W on, and God forbid you won't be able to kill the backline in time. And you won't be able to kill the backline in time because supports are still incredibly overpowered and there is nothing you can do about it. If you would look at the Sombra rework, Overwatch developers actually had something interesting in mind. They were like, yep, we need to make the character a little bit more committed to the fight instead of being a little rat, right? And the Sombra rework was amazing. They just need to nerf supports a little bit and tweak some numbers for her to be playable, because right now she's just a complete abomination without any pressure to the enemy backline. When it comes to Roadhog, they added absolutely nothing interesting. Like the fact that you came up with an idea that every single 10-year-old could come up is a sign of a massive skill issue when it comes to character design. I already suggested in my previous Roadhog video on how to rework Roadhog that you need to make his hook a Spider-Man web, and then his second ability would be Rot, just like the Pudge from Dota 2. So imagine you are using your hook, like there's gonna be a symbiosis between Wrecking Ball and then a Widowmaker. So you grapple onto an opponent and then you rot him. He's slowed, he's taking damage, and then you are eating him as your ultimate. But now we have a very boring abomination of a character. First of all, let's talk about hook. There are so many meta things that can get away from you being able to hook. You always see Sigma on longer maps, you always see Diva on verticality maps. You have no chance to hook any of those characters if they are using their defensive abilities, and even if you do, it's gonna be really easy to escape you. Outside of that, there are meta characters such as Mei, Bastion. Yes, he got nerfed, but he's still very strong in lower levels. And then you have Sojourn, Widowmaker, and there is just nothing you can do against them. You are not protecting your team against dangerous threats that these characters possess. Not only that, but you just don't realistically have the chance to kill them, because you want to place a trap for an one-shot potential. It gets broken every single time if your opponents are playing with their monitor on. If you would wanna hook and go for the combination, oh Jesus, it's also never gonna work, and then your ultimate is pathetically weak and laughable. There is nothing interesting about it, and the character was in a D tier for many seasons in Overwatch 2, and guess what? after the long-awaited rework, the character is still in D tier. You still cannot access high grounds, you still cannot defend your team, you still cannot pressure meta tanks, and I guess we are waiting for Season 8 to fix something. Oh, surely, this is gonna fix everything, because fundamentally speaking, no matter what they do to flank tanks and dive tanks, you just lack one more player, period. It's like, if I would give you an analogy with a tree that has its roots decaying for a long time, and as you can see, the overall surface of the tree is very unhealthy looking, and the leaves and the branches are falling down. And Blizzard, instead of fixing the root problem, the foundation, you know what they are doing? They are painting the leaves green again. The leaves are already yellow, black, they are already on the ground and nothing you can do. The branches are all there and people take them to make fire. No, we're gonna glue the branches back to the tree and pretend that this is gonna work. Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. Bro literally got Overwatch 2'd with the Roadhog when you get your ability cut or an abomination of ability, and they call it Roadhog 2. Same happened with Overwatch 2. Oh man, and honestly, I have no hope left for this game. When the finals is gonna come out, I think I'm gonna pursue that. And people were so excited for like the new ranked system rework. It's not gonna be a rework. You guys are deaf, blind. It's going to be a transparent system. They're just gonna show you how terrible their system is right here. They haven't deliberately fixed the problem with smurfs with 80 hours in game that are destroying lobbies. They haven't fixed the problem with players not willing to try. They haven't been able to fix the problem with just absolutely terrible and unfair matchmaking, when you literally have the 50-50 system where the dudes that supposed to lose are on your team if you're supposed to lose, and on the enemy team if they don't. And of course you can say that, well Chris, if you were to be a little bit more skilled, perhaps you would be able to climb your rank. I have no problems climbing ranks, I have problems with the terrible matchmaker and the system. Perhaps I am just the prisoner of European server. I heard everything is a little bit better on NA. Regardless of that, Roadhog Rework was a complete failure and abomination, and people who are defending that are just delusional and borderline crazy. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about it. See you in the next one. Take care.